if your heart keeps pounding long after your morning coffee, if your hands feel slightly shaky when you try to hold a spoon or a pen, if your body feels tired, but your mind will not settle down at night, it may be time to look at your daily drinking habits more carefully. Many people begin the day with coffee because it feels normal, comforting, and familiar. It has become part of the morning signal that says the day has started. But as the body gets older, the same drink can begin to feel very different. A cup that once felt harmless may now make the heart race, disturb sleep, irritate the stomach, and leave the body more tired by the end of the day. Older adults often process stimulation more slowly and recover from it less easily. That means a drink that seems small can affect the rhythm of the whole day. A morning that starts with a sudden rush can lead to a heavy afternoon and a restless night. When that pattern repeats, the body is not simply being sensitive. It may be asking for a gentler way to begin the day. Many people respond to fatigue by reaching for more stimulation. They drink stronger coffee, larger cups, sweeter drinks, or another caffeinated beverage later in the day. At first, this may seem helpful. It can feel like energy, but often it is not true energy. It is pressure. It is the body being pushed to act alert, while still carrying fatigue underneath. That difference matters. Real energy supports the body. Stimulation borrows from the body. When this continues for months or years, people may begin to notice their pulse feels faster than before, their chest feels tight, their mood becomes more irritable, or they wake up in the middle of the night and cannot fall back asleep. These changes do not always happen suddenly. They often appear quietly, one small sign at a time. The problem is that familiar habits can hide the warning signs. When a routine is normal, people stop questioning it. They assume the body is just getting older. But not every uncomfortable change is age alone. Sometimes the body is simply reacting to what it receives every single day. Morning drinks are a major part of that pattern, because they are usually the first thing that enters the body after a long overnight fast. That first choice can set the tone for the hours that follow. If the first choice is too sharp, too strong, too sweet, or too stimulating, the body may spend the rest of the day trying to calm down. If the first choice is warm, simple, and steady, the body often moves through the day with less strain. The goal is not to declare coffee evil or to create fear around one drink. The real question is much more practical. How does your own body respond now at this stage of life, under your current conditions, with your current sleep, stress, and health? For some people, a small amount of coffee causes no clear problem. For others, the same amount leads to palpitations, anxiety, acid irritation, shallow sleep, or a tired feeling that worsens instead of improving. This is especially important for people who already deal with high blood pressure, rapid pulse, frequent nighttime waking, nervousness, swelling, or digestive discomfort. If the body is already carrying tension, more stimulation can easily add to the burden. That is why it helps to shift the focus away from what is popular and toward what is gentle. The body usually benefits more from consistent calm than from repeated bursts of force. A softer morning can still feel satisfying. Many people assume they need a dramatic replacement, something expensive or highly advertised. But often the most helpful changes are very simple. A warm grain tea, a roasted seed tea, plain warm water before breakfast, or a mild tea that does not overstimulate the system can make a real difference when repeated every day. The effect may seem small at first, but daily habits are powerful because they do not happen once. They happen again and again. A drink repeated every morning can either keep the body in a state of tension or slowly guide it towards steadier balance. That is why changing one cup may sound trivial, but can matter far more than people expect. The pulse may feel calmer. The stomach may feel less irritated. Afternoon heaviness may decrease. Nighttime sleep may deepen. The face may look less puffy in the morning. The body may no longer feel as if it must fight through the day. These are not dramatic miracles. They are the ordinary results of giving the body less to struggle against. One of the most overlooked signs is the habit of dismissing palpitations as unimportant. If your chest feels fluttery or your pulse seems stronger than usual, and it happens often after drinks, it should not be ignored. The same is true if you feel a small internal tremor, a rush of nervous energy, a strange sense of restlessness, or a heavy fatigue that follows stimulation. These signals do not always mean serious disease, but they do mean the body is reacting. Some people also notice more burping, heartburn, reduced appetite in the morning, frequent urination, or a hollow and uneasy feeling in the stomach. Others find that they become more emotionally sensitive, less patient, or more tense without understanding why. It is easy to blame age, weather, or stress alone, yet drinks can be a hidden part of the picture. This is especially true when coffee replaces breakfast. Many older adults say they are not hungry in the morning and simply drink coffee instead. But strong stimulation on an empty stomach can create even more instability. It can irritate the digestive system, make blood sugar. Swings feel sharper and push the body into alertness before it is ready. For older adults, the better approach is often the opposite. Calm comes before stimulation. Warmth comes before intensity. Water comes before sweetness. A slower start frequently creates a better day. It does not mean the morning must feel dull. It means the body should wake up with support rather than pressure. One option that many people find easier than expected is roasted cassia seed tea. It has a mild roasted aroma that can feel familiar to people who miss the smell of coffee, and when prepared gently, it can feel warm and grounding instead of sharp. The point is not to brew it as strong as possible. A softer infusion is usually better at first. Let the taste be light enough that the body can adjust. Sip it slowly, rather than using it as a quick push. Some people notice that their mornings feel less abrupt, and their eyes feel less heavy when they begin the day this way. Others simply appreciate that. The drink feels soothing without making the heart race. Of course, every body is different. People with very sensitive digestion may need smaller amounts or a weaker brew. The lesson is broader than any one tea. The body responds best when we respect its limits, rather than forcing a habit that no longer fits. Another very practical choice is barley tea. Because it is so common, many people underestimate it. But its simplicity is exactly why it works so well in daily life. It is gentle, familiar, easy to prepare, and easy to drink throughout the day. Warm barley tea can help people who struggle to drink plain water, and many older adults do not notice their thirst until they are already slightly dehydrated. A mild tea placed nearby can improve hydration without the push and crash of caffeine. It works with meals, between meals, in the late morning, and in the afternoon. It does not demand attention. It simply supports the body quietly. A third option for some people is corn silk tea or another. Very mild, traditional tea used during the daytime when the body feels heavy or puffy. Some older adults wake with facial swelling, or notice that their legs feel tight and heavy in the evening. In those cases, choosing drinks more carefully and spacing fluids wisely through the day can sometimes help the body feel more comfortable. But even with gentler drinks, timing matters. A drink that feels helpful in the morning or afternoon can become disruptive if taken too late in the evening, especially when it leads to repeated bathroom trips at night. Sleep is one of the body's deepest forms of repair. If a drink interferes with sleep, the value of that drink changes. This is why it helps to divide the day into different needs. Morning is for gentle awakening. Midday is for steady hydration. Evening is for settling down. Many people choose drinks based only on taste or habit. A more helpful approach is to choose based on function. Ask what the body needs at this hour. Does it need soft warmth, light hydration, or quiet preparation for sleep? This way of thinking makes daily choices easier and far more useful. Another common fear is that reducing coffee will leave a person weak, dull, or unable to function. During the first few days, there can indeed be a sense of emptiness. The body may miss the ritual, the smell, the cup in the hand, the quick lift. But that feeling does not always mean the body needs more stimulation. Sometimes it simply means the body has become used to a pattern. There is a difference between dependence and need. If people can move through the first few days with patience, many begin to notice something surprising. The heart feels less chased. The afternoon does not collapse as hard. The body no longer feels pulled up and then dropped down. Sleep may begin to change. Waking in the middle of the night may happen less often. Falling asleep may become easier. The mind may feel less edgy. The body often responds well when pressure is removed. This is why it helps to think in terms of replacement rather than restriction. If the focus is only on what must be removed, the process feels like loss. If the focus is on what can fill the place more kindly, the process feels possible. Put a warm tea where the coffee usually sits. Keep a thermos of barley tea ready during the day. Place mild drinks close at hand, so that the better choice becomes the easier choice. Habit changes do not survive on willpower alone. They survive when the environment makes the new pattern simple. It is also worth changing a few related habits at the same time. First, try not to begin the day with strong drinks on a completely empty stomach. Even a small amount of food can make the morning gentler. Second, reduce the habit of sweet drinks. Sweet coffee beverages, soda, bottled juices, and sugary cafe drinks may taste comforting, but they often add another layer of strain to blood sugar, circulation, and sleep quality. Third, avoid using late afternoon drinks as rescue tools. If the body is exhausted, a short walk, fresh air, light stretching, water, or a brief rest often helps more than another stimulant. Fourth, do not drink large volumes all at once. Spread fluids through the day in a calmer pattern. Fifth, pay attention to the body's response. Notice your morning pulse, how often you wake at night, whether your hands feel shaky, whether your stomach burns, whether your mood feels calmer, and whether your face looks less swollen in the morning. Small observations matter. Older adults often benefit most from habits that are sustainable rather than dramatic. Drinks matter because they are repeated more often than meals. The body may eat 3 times a day, but it may drink many times. That means the total influence of drinks can be greater than people realize. Change the drinks and you often change the total amount of stimulation the body receives. Movement also supports this shift. After breakfast, even a gentle walk through the house, a slow walk outside, or simple ankle and shoulder movements can help circulation and reduce that heavy and stagnant feeling. Many people carry through the day. Sunlight helps too. Morning light signals the body that the day has begun and supports the natural rhythm that later helps the body sleep at night. A warm drink, a little light, and a little movement can be more restorative than people expect. Many ask what they should add for health. But sometimes the better question is what should be reduced first. The heart works better when it is not constantly provoked. Blood vessels benefit from steadiness. Sleep improves when the body is not repeatedly pushed into alertness. Energy improves when rest is not interrupted. A morning drink is therefore not just a matter of preference. It is a signal to the nervous system. It says rush or settle, force or support, sharpness or steadiness. That signal repeats every day. Over time, it shapes the quality of daily life. This does not mean every person must completely eliminate coffee. For some, reducing the amount is enough. A person might replace the first morning cup with a gentle tea and keep only 1 mild cup after breakfast. Another person may do better by removing afternoon coffee first and leaving the morning routine for later. Someone else may need a faster shift because the palpitations and insomnia are already too uncomfortable. There is no single perfect method. The right direction is the one that leaves the body calmer, not the one that looks strict on paper. Improvement can show up as a steadier pulse, less chest awareness, fewer nighttime awakenings, less acidity, or more even energy during the day. Those changes matter more than rules. At the same time, it is important not to blame every episode of palpitations on beverages. If there is chest pain, shortness of breath, severe dizziness, fainting, cold sweat, or an obviously irregular rhythm, medical evaluation is necessary. Sudden or severe symptoms should never be treated as a simple lifestyle issue. The purpose of these daily changes is to reduce avoidable strain, not to ignore danger signs. But outside of emergencies, many people truly do feel much better when their drinks become gentler and their day becomes less dependent on stimulation. It helps to understand that afternoon. Sleepiness is not always a sign that more caffeine is needed. Sometimes it simply reflects a large meal, fast eating, poor sleep, too much sugar, too little water, or long periods of sitting. If lunch is heavy and followed by immediate sitting, the body will naturally become sluggish. In that situation, another caffeinated drink may feel helpful for an hour, but it can reinforce the cycle rather than solve it. A better response is often lighter. Eating, slower eating, brief walking, and steady hydration. A handful of nuts, a boiled egg, or another. Simple snack may help more than a sweet beverage. Many people confuse thirst with fatigue. They feel dull, dry, or heavy and assume they need stimulation, when what they really need is water and a slower rhythm. Keeping warm or room temperature drinks nearby can change this pattern. What sits within reach often becomes the default choice. This is why shopping matters too. If the home is full of sweet bottled drinks, instant coffee mixes, cafe cans, and energy beverages, those will be chosen during tired moments. If the home is stocked with barley tea, plain water, mild teas, and simple foods, the body is more likely to receive what it can actually use. Healthy decisions last longer when the surroundings support them. Evening habits may be the most important of all. Many people feel uncomfortable after dinner and reach for coffee, or a sweet drink as a way to finish the meal. But late stimulation often harms sleep more than people realize. The body may feel tired, yet the brain remains too alert. Falling asleep becomes harder, deep. Sleep becomes shorter, and waking during the night becomes more frequent. Then the next morning starts with more fatigue, which leads to more coffee, which leads to another disturbed night. This is one of the most common hidden loops in older adulthood. To break it, evening drinks should become simpler, lighter, and earlier. If there is thirst, sip rather than gulp. If nighttime urination is frequent, reduce large drinks later in the evening. If the body is restless at night, avoid sweet desserts and stimulating beverages after dinner. A calm evening protects the next morning. Better sleep often reduces the need for caffeine by itself. When the body truly rests, the demand for artificial alertness often decreases. This is why drink choices should be linked to sleep quality, rather than viewed in isolation. A beverage may seem useful in the moment, but costly across the full day. Another hidden issue is the amount of caffeine and sugar people consume without noticing it. Some believe they already reduced coffee, yet still drink canned coffee, instant sweet coffee mixes, chocolate drinks, energy tonics, or heavily caffeinated teas. Others think fruit juice is automatically harmless because it sounds natural yet sweet. Bottled juices can still create abrupt energy swings and unnecessary sugar load. Writing down what you drink in one ordinary week can be eye-opening. Many people discover that stimulation is entering the body from several directions at once. Once the pattern becomes visible, it becomes easier to simplify it. The tongue also adapts faster than people expect. A person who is used to very sweet drinks may find milder drinks boring at first, but after a week or two, that same person may suddenly notice that old sweet drinks taste excessively strong. Taste changes when habits change. This is good news because it means the body can learn. A gentler version of comfort. There is no need to buy expensive wellness products to accomplish this. In fact, the most useful choices are often the least dramatic. Home-prepared barley tea, mild roasted seed tea, warm water, and simple daily consistency tend to matter more than trendy products with bold promises. Health habits last not because they are exciting, but because they are repeatable. For people with sensitive bodies, gradual change can make the process much easier. If you currently drink coffee 3 times a day, you might begin by replacing only the late afternoon cup with barley tea. A few days later, you may replace the first morning cup with a warm, mild tea, and keep one lighter cup after breakfast if needed. This stepwise method reduces the chance of headaches, irritability, and withdrawal fatigue. On the other hand, if palpitations and insomnia are already severe, a faster reduction may be more appropriate. In that case, hydration, balanced food, and rest become even more important during the transition. Support from family can also make a large difference. If a spouse or child prepares tea, avoids offering coffee, or joins the new routine, the change feels less like deprivation and more like a shared habit. Turning the tea break into a moment of calm can also help. Hold the cup slowly. Feel the warmth. Notice your breathing. Let the drink become part of the body's shift away from urgency. Older adults often benefit from slower rhythms in general. Even drinking too quickly can create discomfort. Slowing down helps swallowing, digestion, and nervous system calm. A few quiet minutes with a cup can become a form of daily self-observation. Is the pulse calmer today? Did you sleep better last night? Is your stomach more settled? Does your body feel less agitated? These small check-ins help people notice improvements sooner and stay motivated longer. Some people worry that without coffee their mood will sink. Yet in many cases, better sleep and less physical agitation improve mood more reliably than caffeine does. Stimulation can create a brief sense of uplift, but a rested body creates steadier emotional balance. People who feel anxious, easily startled, or frequently restless may benefit from lowering daily stimulation, even if that is not the only reason for their symptoms. When the body is less tense, the mind often feels less tense as well. People who wake in the middle of the night and cannot fall back asleep are especially worth encouraging in this direction. Improved sleep can affect appetite, patience, concentration, and daily confidence. Many older adults are concerned about forgetfulness, irritability, or low resilience. Poor sleep can amplify all of these. That is why the value of gentler drinks is not limited to the heart. It can extend into memory, mood, digestion, and the ability to move through the day without feeling chased by it. The body is a connected system. A better morning can support a better afternoon, and a calmer afternoon can protect the evening. Practical preparation makes success much more likely. Fill the kettle the night before so the morning starts with less friction. Place a cup where it is easy to see. Move coffee tools farther back for a while, so the first reach of the hand is not automatic. In the morning, rinse the mouth, drink a little warm water, then prepare the tea. Let it cool to a comfortable temperature rather than drinking it too hot. Open a curtain. Let in air and light. Rotate the shoulders gently. Give the body a chance to wake through several soft signals, rather than one harsh one. If breakfast tends to be rushed, simplify it. Even a small protein food and a warm side can make the morning steadier than a sweet drink alone. After eating, avoid lying down or sitting still for too long. Carry a thermos of barley tea for the late morning. If you leave the house, take your own drink when possible, so that you are not forced into the default choice of coffee shops and convenience stores. Health habits become stable when they are prepared in advance. People often fail not because they lack knowledge, but because the healthier option was not ready when they needed it. Social situations can be challenging, because coffee is often tied to politeness, conversation, and routine. Some older adults accept every offered drink, simply because refusing feels awkward. But protecting the body is more important than following an automatic script. It is perfectly reasonable to choose tea, warm water, or a lighter option when your body responds badly to coffee. Some people prefer to say they are trying to sleep better. Others say their stomach has become sensitive. A simple explanation is enough. Travel days deserve extra attention too. During long drives or trips, people often drink strong coffee and eat sweet snacks in order to stay alert. Yet this combination can leave the body even more swollen, dehydrated and restless by the time the journey ends. On travel days, steady water, mild. Tea, light meals, and periodic movement usually support the body much better. Moving the ankles, stretching the shoulders, and standing up when possible can reduce the heavy, sluggish feeling that often leads people to reach for another drink. Health should not depend on being at home in perfect conditions. The more natural the new habit becomes, the easier it will be to keep it everywhere. Season also matters. In colder months, many older adults feel less thirsty and can unintentionally drink too little. Warm barley tea or other mild warm drinks may help maintain hydration without strain. In hotter months, people may crave very cold beverages and iced coffee. Yet icy drinks can sometimes upset the stomach, and sweet iced drinks can add a lot of unnecessary sugar. In summer, it may help to choose drinks that are cool rather than ice cold, and to use plain fluids, first for thirst before reaching for flavored beverages. Seasonal gatherings can also shift habits. In winter, sweet coffee mixes and desserts often appear together. In summer, iced cafe drinks and sugary fruit beverages become common. The principle remains the same through every season. Keep the temperature gentle, the sweetness low, the stimulation moderate, and the timing thoughtful. When people are sensitive to weather changes, adjusting drink habits can be one of the easiest ways to reduce swelling, fatigue, and disrupted sleep. It is helpful to know what positive changes to look for. You may wake without that dry and overactivated feeling in your mouth and chest. You may notice your pulse feels quieter in the morning. Meals may sit more comfortably. You may feel less rushed internally after drinking. Afternoon mental heaviness may lessen. Sleep may come a little sooner. You may wake fewer times at night or return to sleep more easily when you do wake. Your face may look less puffy in the morning, and your legs may feel lighter by evening. Heartburn, frequent burping, and nervous shakiness may become less common. Not every improvement arrives at once. Some people sleep better first. Others feel calmer first. Others notice digestive comfort before anything else. That is why comparison is not useful. The only meaningful comparison is between your body now and your body a week ago. Health habits are not exams. They are observations over time. If people expect dramatic transformation immediately, they may miss the smaller signs that prove the body is moving in the right direction. Those small signs are important because they build trust. Once the body feels a little better, continuing the habit becomes easier. At the same time, more is not always better. Even mild tea can become uncomfortable if taken in excessive amounts. Or too late at night, a drink that is too concentrated may upset a sensitive stomach. Frequent evening fluids can interrupt sleep. This is why it is best to begin lightly and adjust based on comfort. Older adults often benefit from smaller, steadier patterns, rather than large swings. The healthiest amount is not the amount someone else recommends on the internet. It is the amount your own body handles well. If you take many medicines or have known heart or kidney disease, major changes should always be made carefully and, when appropriate, discussed with a clinician. The goal here is not extreme self-treatment. It is gentle daily support. In most ordinary situations, reducing stimulation, choosing warm and mild beverages, and paying attention to timing is a low burden and often helpful starting point. Good health habits usually live in balance rather than extremes. Perhaps the most important mindset shift is to avoid turning this into a story of punishment. You are not losing pleasure. You are redesigning comfort. The body changes with age, and wise care means changing with it instead of fighting it. Some people will discover they genuinely enjoy the roasted aroma of a mild tea. Others will find quiet satisfaction in the clean simplicity of barley tea. Others may realize that plain warm water in the morning feels best of all. There is no single correct taste. The common thread is that the drink does not leave the body rattled, acidic, sleepless, or swollen. Finding that personal comfort is an act of respect toward the body. Older adults often benefit more from self-observation than self-criticism. Rather than saying the body is weak now, it may be better to say the body is asking for a different pace. A morning drink is one of the easiest places to honor that request. It does not require expensive products or complicated schedules. It begins with a kettle, a cup, and a different decision tomorrow morning. Healthy routines are built not on perfection, but on return. One day of drinking coffee again does not erase progress. One difficult afternoon does not mean failure. The body responds to patterns, not to a single imperfect moment. If you drank one less cup today than yesterday, that still matters. If you return to your gentler routine after a busy day, that still matters. Families can support this process by changing what is visible at home. Put barley tea where it can be seen. Keep plain water ready. Reduce the stock of sweet and stimulating drinks. A stable environment protects fragile habits. As people grow older, health management becomes less about heroic willpower and more about building a daily structure that does not constantly fight the body. Sleep, food, drinks, movement, and light all belong to this structure. The first morning cup is simply one doorway into it. A calmer beginning often leads to a calmer day. When the day becomes calmer, the body spends less time recovering from unnecessary strain and more time maintaining itself. Pay special attention to the situations that make you want caffeine the most. Poor sleep, skipped meals, emotional stress, long driving, heavy paperwork, social obligations, and prolonged sitting all increase the urge for a quick lift. These are not signs of weakness. They are signals that preparation is needed. On poorly slept days, prioritize water, food, and a slower start before deciding on stimulants. On stressful days, remember that coffee can feel comforting, while actually tightening the body further. On busy days, keep simple food available, so that drinks do not become a substitute for nourishment. On travel days, bring your own mild drink if possible. Anticipating the hard moments is one of the most practical forms of self-care. Health does not come only from knowing what is ideal. It comes from handling ordinary difficult situations in a body-friendly way. Taste also matters. A routine will not last if every drink feels joyless. This is why it helps to make gentler options pleasant in their own way. Adjust the strength. Use a favorite cup. Choose the temperature that feels most comfortable. Small sensory pleasures help. Healthier habits become real life instead of forced discipline. One regret many people express is that they ignored discomfort for too long. Palpitations, poor sleep, acid irritation, and swelling often begin as mild annoyances. Because they are not dramatic at first, people adapt to them and continue as usual. But over time, repeated strain becomes harder to ignore. That is why early adjustment matters. Changing the morning drink is one of the easiest forms of early adjustment. It is low cost, practical, and immediately available. It does not solve every problem, but it can remove a daily source of avoidable pressure. Try choosing tomorrow morning's first drink tonight. Decide now what will be in your cup. Then observe your body for several days. The body is not silent. It responds clearly when something is either helping or harming it. Real healthcare begins with that listening. The rule is simple. What leaves your body calmer deserves a greater place in your routine. What repeatedly leaves your body more agitated deserves less. Older adulthood does not require a life that is more intensely stimulated. It often benefits from a life that is better organized, more rested, and less needlessly provoked. One cup can either shake that balance or protect it. So tomorrow morning, before your hand reaches automatically for coffee, pause. Ask what your heart, your stomach, your sleep, and your energy have been telling you. If they have been signaling strain, consider offering something gentler first. Let your first drink be warm rather than sharp, steady, rather than forceful, supportive rather than demanding. Over time, that one quiet decision can change the tone of the day. And when the tone of the day changes, the rhythm of life can change with it. Health in older age is rarely built by dramatic secrets. More often, it is protected by quiet repetition. A gentler cup in the morning, steady hydration through the day, less stimulation in the evening, a little walking after meals, a little sunlight. After waking, a little more patience with the body and a little less pressure on the heart. These are not flashy changes. They are lasting changes. When they accumulate, the difference can be felt in calmer mornings, steadier afternoons, and quieter nights. That is a meaningful kind of strength. It is not the strength of being pushed. It is the strength of being supported.